The Haunting of Marigold High. I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was a crisp autumn afternoon, and the entire school was buzzing with excitement. But that excitement quickly turned to terror when the announcement crackled over the intercom. This is not a drill. We are now in lockdown. Everyone, please remain calm and follow the procedure. The panic that pierced through the air was palpable. We had practiced lockdown drills before, but this time it felt different, more urgent, more ominous. Locked in the darkened classroom, the minutes stretched into hours. Whispers of fear echoed off the walls as we strained to listen for any sounds of the unknown. Suddenly, a shiver raced down my spine as I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. The shadow of a figure loomed outside the window. It was tall, unnaturally so. I held my breath, hoping it was just a trick of the light, but the shadow remained, and a cold dread settled over me. As the lockdown continued, rumors began to circulate. Some whispered about the school's dark history, about the unexplained disappearances that had haunted Marigold High for decades. The story that stood out the most was the legend of a former teacher, Miss Holloway, who had mysteriously vanished on the very same day years ago. Some claimed to have seen her ghostly figure, wandering the abandoned halls at night, searching for something that she had lost. But the most chilling tale was the one about the locked room in the basement, where students were never allowed to go. It was said that strange noises could be heard coming from that room late at night, and sometimes, the sound of a faint voice crying out for help. That room had become the stuff of nightmares for generations of students, and the thought of it sent shivers down my spine. As the lockdown dragged on, strange occurrences began to unfold. Unsettling whispers trickled through the air, and the air grew icy cold. Despite the heater being on, some claimed to have heard phantom footsteps echoing in the hallways, and others swore they heard a mournful voice pleading for release. I knew that something was terribly wrong. The school was alive with a malevolent energy. The longer we remained in lockdown, the more erratic our behavior became. Paranoia crept in, and the once unified student body began to unravel. People accused one another of betrayal, and distrust festered like a malignant tumor. In the silence, a sense of doom settled heavily upon us, as if the very walls held a terrible secret. The most terrifying incident, however, occurred on the night of the third day. I woke to the sound of anguished sobs resonating through the empty corridors. With trembling hands, I peered out the window and saw a ghastly figure gliding along the hallways. It was Miss Holloway, her face contorted in an expression of agony. Her spectral form was ethereal, yet undeniably real. She emanated a profound sorrow that sent a chill through my bones. As she drifted closer, her eyes locked with mine, and I was paralyzed by a wave of terror. I couldn't tear my gaze away from her, and as she approached the locked door of the basement, a blood-curdling wail pierced through the silence. In that moment, I knew that the school was cursed, and that we were all doomed to bear witness to its tragic past. The lockdown was finally lifted the next day, but none of us were the same. The experience had left an indelible mark on our souls, and the echoes of that haunting still lingered in the darkest recesses of our memories. Marigold High had unleashed something malevolent, something that defied explanation. Whenever I pass by the school now, I can't help but feel the weight of its dark history pressing down on me. The legend of Miss Holloway and the locked room still haunt my thoughts, and I can't shake the feeling that there are some secrets that are best left buried in the shadows. And as the years pass, I can only hope that the school doesn't claim more victims to its sinister legacy.